What's good? What up, everyone? Today's gonna be a little bit of a short stream. About like 2.5 hours. It depends how long it takes us to beat this, to be honest. Happy 4th of July, everyone. I'm gonna be spending some time with family after this, so it won't be too long. It'll be a little bit shorter. But we'll see how long the Privesk is. Probably 2.5 hours is my guess. Abs, Anton, Senena, Defus, what's up? Defus. What do we rate user? I'd give it a 7. 7 or an 8. I mean, I give it a 7. I think that's fair. That wasn't too bad. What up, Edwin? Okay, where do we left? We left off with creds to win RM, right? E black. And that was our persistence. We don't need a reverse shell. We can just win RM in. Member of win RM. Remote management. Interesting groups. Nope. Oh, PKI admins. Oh, here's our Privesk right here. I remember. We already saw this, didn't we? Outbound. Yeah. Generic right to this certificate. Is this CA? Or template? Certificate templates. What is this object? No abuse available for this type of node. What is this? What up, Prod? What up, Void? Can I talk about Tmux? Talk about it? What do you mean talk about it? Tmux terminal multiplexer allows me to set new windows in my just using my keyboard. Allows me to just search stuff. It's just a terminal utility tool. Did David give you the job after confirming my Git clone skills? Alright. Interview on Thursday. Oh, we have generic right to the CA. I didn't see that as well. Okay, I'm not sure what this weird object is, but we have generic right to the CA, so I think that's GG. That should have a piece of information. No commands. With generic right permission over an enterprise CA, we can publish. Alright, so we can just make our own vulnerable template. We can just publish our own vulnerable template, like that's vulnerable to like ESC1, for example, and then that's really easy. That's it. It's just like one thing to Privesk. Adding this. By adding the CN name of the template in the enterprise CA's objects certificate templates attribute. Can I do a certify? Congrats on 5K subs. Thank you, Edwin. Much appreciated. How do we get user? Was that TOTP needed? Intended route was yes needed. But like after an hour, I was just like, fuck it. I'll just brute force the code. So I just brute forced it. There's no rate limiting, so it's just 6 digits, really quick. It took like like 30 seconds. Let's check out certify if I can do it with that. I do like, all right, CA, manage CA. That's what we want. CA account auth. No, that's this stuff. How do can I do help CA? How do I CA dash help? There it is. All right, manage certificate authority configurations, templates, and permissions. All right, so can we create a new CA? Or no, we just want to add a new template is what we want. Publish certificate templates. I might just look this up. Publishing templates with Certify. How did the interview go? Wait, which one? Last one was like a few weeks ago. I've got 4 interviews scheduled. The most recent one is at the moment next Thursday. I have 2 out of the 4 scheduled. I have 2 more that haven't responded for scheduling. But most recent one will be on Thursday at the moment. Publishing certificate templates with Certify. Fire what type of position? It's just pen tester. All pen testing positions. Script templates. Can we? Is there information on publishing here? Requesting. I don't want to request one. We want to make our own. I wonder what Certify would say if I do. It's not. It might actually have an ESC associated with this. It's probably not though, because it's not like a vulnerable template. It's more of a vulnerable access control entry there in LDAP, not necessarily specifically ADCS. But I'm curious. Yeah, and this was so fast. This is literally like the only prevest. It's just this. It'll be a very quick stream. Maybe we'll do a little something else. Maybe a little PortSwigger or something. Doesn't need to be that quick. Dash vulnerable. Dash DCIP. That should be all we need. We might need actually DC host name. Not sure. I don't think so. They're for YouTube or Twitch to. I don't know what you mean, Edwin. Oh, do I refer my YouTube or Twitch channel? I mean, it's on my resume. Yeah, no vulnerable templates. I didn't think so. Because it's not really an issue with that. So I wonder if they have it on their wiki. Maybe there's no utility to do this. I doubt it, though. Usage. Find, request, auth, relay, shadow, forge. Oh, maybe forge? No, that's if we have the private key. Creating arbitrary certificate. It might be. We might still be able to just do this with forge. We might want to do forge. Hey, yo, I'm new to this. Where should I start? Try Hack Me in Hacktobox. Hacktobox starting point is a good place. Hacktobox Academy. Try Hack Me learning paths. Make an account and get started. That's all you need, brother. Yeah, I think we'll try out Forge. Can you share your interview experience with us? What do you mean? In regards to, like, what do you mean interview experience? Like, what would you want me to share? Forge. Wrote self-signed certificate. No subject using default certificate. Okay. 20-week ACLs, maybe? Oh, no, this is EC4. This isn't it. We want to... What if I just look this up? Abuse information up from Bloodhound. Generic right? Generic... Oh, it's generic... It's generic right over a CA. Probably Spectre Ops has it. Was it generic all or a CA? Generic's right. Generic right. Generic right. It's over a enterprise. Yeah, there's no information about it. It just says we can publish templates. By adding the CN name of the template in the enterprise CA's object certificate templates value. generic right over a CA. Like the interview procedure, including the, I mean, it all differs per company. Like you go larger companies, they're gonna have more rounds, and the difficulty of the questions just depends on the level you're applying for. It all depends on what position you're applying for. This is a different box. Might have a similar scenario. No, it just says vulnerable EC9. Okay. Huh. What else is... What are the options on Forge? It just makes a template local or certificate locally. That doesn't really help. If we have the CA private key, which we don't, but we have generic right over it. ChatGPT, it might be ChatGPT. Maybe. Yeah, let me use my own model because it's gonna get blocked on V1. I'll put this in here. Can this be done with certify? No, it's gotta be possible. It's gotta be. ADCS. That's not a fucking function. ADCS. Yeah, that's not even a method. ChatGPT's hallucinating shit. CA-action add template. Hold on, it might be cooking. It might still be, even though it's wrong, it might still be cooking. Hold on. CA dash help. We have CA dash action. Where's dash action? It still might be hallucinating. There's no dash action. Searching pages. Search pages. I want to search everything. There's no dash action. It's not a thing. Add dash template. Is this thing? Add template. ADCS exploit add template. Don't think this is a real thing. Oops. No add template. It's hallucinating. The commands? The commands are in the tmux config. I have dash for, so it all starts with a prefix. So control B is my prefix, and I have like the minus sign for horizontal splitting, X to kill panes. I have the pipe for vertical panes, W to go through different tabs, like that. Z is zoom, and then the rest. I mean, it's all the only thing that's different is the dash in the pipe. The rest is all default. So the left bracket is for scroll mode. And there you can do control R to search, and that's all the utilities I used. References? Okay, this doesn't help. What is this? Video. Random video. Probably not gonna help. Don't think it's gonna help. No, there is no add template feature. Search the web. I'm having to search the web. GPT sucks. Enable template? Would it be? Where did I just killed it. Whoopsies. That's not too bad. Enable template? Maybe? What about fourth grader? I have to... I mean, that just enables a template that's disabled. We still need to import a template. Dash add officer. Add a new certificate manager to the CA. Test. User. See how this goes. It is possible to scroll and copy using the mouse. Just like this. And if you don't want to use the mouse, you can use space and enter. Space and enter to copy a selection. Maybe I can modify a template? Maybe. That is... Shit, I just copied that. It is possible. Maybe, you know, it might, hold up. I think the tmux config's not even updated. It may not be updated to my latest one. Let me check. Let me go to pins. Tmux config, let's cat home tmux. Make sure this is, yeah, I've changed it. I've changed it a little bit. All right, let me update it in Discord. Let me edit it. Should be this. Oops. Let me edit that. Oops. Save. My message is too long. Upload as file. What just happened? Oh, it just fucking... You bastard. Why was that too big? How was that too big? Whatever. Can't even modify this now. Shit sucks. Discord, you suck. Alright, let me just paste it here. Upload as file. And then I'll reference this in my in the pinned message. Jump. I'll edit it. I'll remove this crap. You know, I'll just pin it again. I'll just remove this pin. How can I unpin it? Unpin. Remove this pinned. And then can I like forward? I just, whoopsies. Did I just ban myself? Forward to Jen. Can I forward it here? No, I can't forward to the same channel. We reply to it, say tmux config. There. And then I'll pin that. Cool. So now if you go to pins, you go here. And there you go. That works. Okay. All right, we're back. Do I use VirtualBox or VMware? I use VMware. All right, where were we? At -CA. What's the CA name? What's this crap? Cannot find user test user. I want to add one. Add officer. Oh, does that have to be my username? eBlack. Insert permissions to get CA security. I have generic right. God, there's no documentation on this. So that's cool. This is why it's rated insane. But it's only one step to domain admin now. But it's ADCS exploit. Just generic right over a CA is what it is. ADCS generic right over a CA. Exploit. I mean, I could do it if I had like a GUI and I could just go into the I mean, I guess I could do it from PowerShell. It just makes it so much harder. Using like something like Certify. But it may not have the utility to do this. It's not. It's nothing with any ESC stuff. You already ran that, right? Or remove vulnerable. Shouldn't matter. Do I recommend Kali's main OS? Probably not. Depends what you do, but I mean, I wouldn't use his main OS. Templates for targeting. ESCs. What's this? That's just mapping stuff out. That doesn't help. No, it does not. I mean, I probably don't need to, but I'll still. I didn't even when I ran in. I didn't check Check his home directory. Oh, we already did actually. It was just nothing. It's just check just user flag. We can check like PowerShell history, check other stuff, but it's gonna be this. PKI admins. It's gonna be that. This thing. Okay, that worked. Add CA template. Dash name. Vuln template. Vuln template does not exist in the domain. So how am I gonna add something if it already exists? That doesn't really make sense. Thing is starting my YouTube channel. Do not care. I'd say go for it. Can't hurt. Script for template. I mean, what can we enroll in? User client off EFS. What is this object? This is so weird. Is this all certificate templates? It's not, because I can only enroll in these, but generic right over all. So I should just be able to modify them. In theory. Marto with the follow. Thank you. Alright, well, let me just modify something I can enroll in. Like, I guess user. Access is denied. Certificate templates. What is this node? Certificate templates node in Bloodhound. Cert template. Is that the... No, it's just called certificate templates. Represents the Active Directory LDAP objects of PKI certificate templates class. Wow, this is so odd. I wonder if we can do this with Bloody AD. I just killed that. Whatever. Okay. Whoopsies. Bloody AD. We might be able to do it with this instead of ADCS. Because, it's not an ADCS issue. I mean, it is at the end of the day. Well, like, the root causes would be, like, Bloody AD. Like, generic right over this node. But then that allows us to make our own vulnerable template, which we can use ADCS to escalate. It's just so weird. We want add, get, remove, or set. Let's look up Bloody AD wiki. Enumeration. We want exploitation. User guide. Get commands. Get object. Could get that object. Set object owner. Right owner person. We have generic right. We might be able to. Generic right should include right owner if I remember correctly. Let's try that over that object. This is so weird. I still doubt this is gonna work, but let's give it a shot. So that's our host. The domain is coder.hackbox. We're gonna need to modify that. That's gonna time out because our IP changed. -u-p. Okay. All right, so we want to set owner. Set. Dash set. How do I set the command? Set -h. There we go. Add, replace, delete targets attributes. Odd. I'll do that. This is adding the CN name of the template in the enterprise CA's objects certificate templates value. So we can add a template to the CA if it's already in it. But is that the case? You can publish. I don't think we can create templates. We can publish ones that already exist that aren't. Huh. Like, is any disabled that we could add? Let's go enabled. So there are some that aren't. There's a lot that aren't enabled. Okay. Huh. I wonder if there's any that contain this group. PKI admins. No, it doesn't look like it. Mrs. Yada Yada with the follow. Can we modify an old template? I don't think so. Add ourselves as an officer. Yeah, I don't know if we can do that. That's only ESC 7. Unless there's like an ESC 7 that's disabled and it doesn't show ESC 7 because it's disabled. We might need to do manual. Let's go certify. We might need to do some manual like enumeration through this because it might only look for enabled templates for vulnerabilities. CC7 is dangerous permissions on a CA. No, this wouldn't be it. That's just over the entire CA. We don't have access rights like that. Go to the top, we go to the CA. Permissions, access rights. Yeah, we're not in here. Because it's an ACL thing, not like a... It's like an LDAP thing, not an ADCS thing. Coder web server. Enterprise admins. It's one step to domain admin, but it is a complicated step. Because there's not much resources on it. And we can't enroll to any of these. Besides, I guess all these are enabled typically. Client off. Yeah. All those are just default. Those are default templates are going to be safe. Unless they're modified. I mean, we would see that in certify. Alright. Set owner. Let's do set owner. So then the target and then the owner. So can we do... I guess we'd be able to do it with both. Could we do this object? Wants the same account name. That's not gonna have the same account name. Can we use this? No object found. It's no Sam. I could probably use this. I can't view the whole thing. Now I can. That'll work. Okay, no access rights. Damn. What about this? I guess generic right doesn't contain right owner. Insufficient access rights. Damn. What does vulnerable say? Nothing. Nothing with vulnerable. Because there's no vulnerable templates. It's that we have generic right over the CA. Right to any non-protected attribute, including members and service principal names. Well, that's for a group and for a user. We're not dealing with that. We're dealing with the certificate authority. Box creator here. No shot. Is it control 0? It is. No shot. I know I have to make my own vulnerable template. Yes, I understand that. That was implied from the Bloodhound abuse information. But I'm just wondering how do we publish that template? I was trying to do a certify. But I just couldn't get the information for their syntax. That's crazy that you're here. What the fuck? How did you end up here? That's so funny. That's so funny. You're just here and I'm doing your box. So far, great box. Great box so far. Been loving it. It's really only one step to, like, we were going to do Privest today, but we literally just, it's literally one step to DA after user flag. It's one kind of complicated step because there's not a lot of information on creating and publishing a CA. I mean, I could do that with like the actual GUI and just create and publish a vulnerable CA or certificate template, but not CA template. But it should be able to do that through Certify. These are all ESCs. We just want to like add our own. Found me randomly a while back while searching YouTube videos on a previous box I made. What other box did you make that I did? I think Certify can do it now. When it was made, I had to do it via PowerShell. See, I asked ChatGPT for the PowerShell commands to do so, and it didn't like it. Because it says we need to add ourselves as an officer. And we don't have perms to do that. I tried. Officer. Oh, I removed it. I killed it on accident. Oopsies. What up, Kurdish? Watch me do Snoopy. That was another good box. That was a long time ago. Jeez. That was when I was a noob. That was a good box. To generate, wait, then publish it. Yeah, that's what that happens with a lot of boxes that have new vulnerabilities, new techniques. Generate a vulnerable template. Step 1. Via PowerShell. Not built in, I'd have to use ADSI/certutil to modify attributes directly, but this is advanced. Alright, fucking, let's do it. I don't care. Could do it via GUI. We don't have, I mean, we can't, like, add ourselves to remote desktop. I don't even know if RDP's open. I don't think we're gonna be able to, yeah, we're not gonna be able to do that. Let's generate one. It is not showing me how to generate one. Okay, well I'll have to let's just do fuck ChatGPT. We'll use Google. Creating a certificate template via PowerShell. ADCS template.ps1. Add CA template. We might be able to do this. No, that's if one already exists. That just adds like EFS. That already exists. We need to create our own. All right, let's try that tool. ADCS template. Build ADCS. This might be useful. This is it. Okay, this is the one. This is the one. Pebble, do I get high, or should I study trihackme paths? You know the answer to that. You know the answer to that. It's not get high, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I got it. We're right here. What kind of technical interview process have I gone through so far? Everything. From just questions to actual, like, CTF style stuff. I mean, it's just everything. Everything you could think of. Install okay, we're gonna need to import this. Does the PSM1, these are all, this is everything. Partial module. Do I need to have like these other ones in the same directory? I don't think so. I don't know what the difference is between like the PSM and the PSDs. Okay, this is just like some random library. Definitely not that. Have they asked about AI and how it? Yes. And I always say I use it every day. But I don't think it should be used for like automated exploitation, anything in a client environment. Because then it fucks up. You get into a lot of issues. Where are we here? I need to win RM in. Did I not? I closed that. Fuck. Every time. Let's get this. And then evil. It's great for syntax. It's great for making quick scripts do stuff, but again, you shouldn't have AI run the whole show. All right. Now, obviously, I need to upload this PowerShell utility. And AI solved all your web boxes in 5 minutes. Okay. I mean, like Burp AI, like Burp has their own AI tool now. And that's probably great. But here's the thing. Like say you have SQL injection on a delete users function. Like there's a delete users, delete all where user equals input, right? And then you put or 1 equals 1 in there. You know what you've done? You just deleted every single user. So you have to have like there's situations where you can get into a lot of trouble. I mean, you can get into a lot of trouble doing that manually, but I mean, even more so with AI. If you're just trusting it, giving it free will. Alright, let's check out this utility. ADCS template, do we have? Okay, we do. Let's import this. Export template, new ADCS template. Awesome. Alright, we need to make it vulnerable though. Okay, so this is -JSON. All right, so this is what is the JSON look like for a certificate template? I need an example. Okay, so this will output it to a JSON format. All right, let's just get all the templates in JSON format so that we can see what it actually looks like, and then we can just make one ESC1, call it a different name, publish it, and we should be good to go. Or did I not import the template? Or the PowerShell module? I did import the PowerShell module. Get ADCS template is not recognized. You sure about that? Huh. What is IPMO? Get ADCS template, so that should work. Oops. Import module shorthand. I imported it. The dot slash should import it. Like the dot with the space. That should import it. No, it shouldn't. Okay, never mind. I'm just a goober. Since what? Wait, why did that not work? That has always worked for me. To import. You just do dot and then the path. That imports it. I'm tweaking then. Never mind. Alright, let's go back. Jeez. Let's export all these so you can see the JSON format. Okay. Alright, let's take user.json. This is the format. Cool. Let's download this. And then we'll edit it here. It's user. Okay. So let's make it vulnerable to ESC1. Let's go back here. Let's go ESC1. Privilege escalation. All right, let's call it, name is user vuln. Display name user vuln. Okay, so these are all OIDs. See, the thing is Certify automatically, like, will convert the OIDs to, like, the readable format, for the EKU stuff. So I think... Alright, it says right here. It says what they are. So... Client authentication is this. Alright, we have that. So that's good. That's all we need, is to authenticate there. We need enrollee supply subject as a enabled flag. Hello, I'm curious to know what we're doing. It looks very interesting. We're doing a Hack the Box machine on hackthebox.com. We're doing Coder. It is an insane Windows machine. So if you're new to hacking, or Active Directory, probably won't understand a whole lot. We're almost done with it. But, yeah, that's what we're doing. I'll try to explain as much as possible. Right now, we have permissions to... Let me go back to eBlack. We have permissions to essentially upload our own certificate template, which is just like a way for users to, I guess, authenticate to different resources. So we're able to make our own. We have generic right over the certificate authority, meaning we're able to make our own vulnerable template. We're going to publish it, and then we're going to authenticate to it to escalate. And what machine am I going to after? Probably none. 4th of July, I'm going to spend time with family. Can I have a TLDR at the end? Sure. Certify should be able to do it. Manage templates. That's cool, hymn of words. That didn't copy. Just under usage for 05. It would be easier to do it with Certify. It's under usage. Template. Manage certificate template objects. Okay, maybe we can use that. I don't think I did. I think I did CA, not template. Maybe I should have done that. Yeah, I've been working on CA, so I guess it's under template, which kind of makes sense. Let's move this. So let's go template. So we can't edit a template, but we can make our own. Let's see the more commands for this. Template name. That's something we want to operate. Write configuration. Apply configuration from a JSON file to the certificate template. Does it make a new one though? That's what we want. I don't think we have permissions to edit others, but we have permissions to make a new one. Unless we do have permission to edit others. I don't think so. I am not an expert. That is for sure. I'm not an expert. Apply ESC1. Okay, that's good. Automatically makes it ESC1. That'd be nice. Okay, we can just save it to a configuration file, and then that'll just generate the JSON for us, and then we can just upload that using the PowerShell script. You are, dude? No, I'm not. There's no such thing as a cybersecurity expert, and I'm certainly not. But I'm glad you think that way. Means a lot, but again, definitely not. So we can try this, right? Default configuration, and then let's just save it. Expects an argument. User vuln. Dash template. It does need dash template. Damn. The one to operate on. I don't think it's gonna work because I don't think we have permission to just modify templates. Oh, it doesn't need the TA. It's surprising. Right, we don't have permission to do that, to update a different template. That's what I thought. Low-key OSCP certified equals expert. No, OSCP is a beginner cert. It's not a beginner cert. It is entry level for pen testing. Pen testing is not a big, I mean, it's not an easy field to get into. It's not an entry level field, but it's an entry level cert for that field. Okay, so now this should just be straight ESC1 here. That doesn't look good, but maybe it is. Giggle pixel with the follow. I don't think that's gonna allow me to upload that because that doesn't look like the right syntax, but we can try. With this. And then, where were we? Yeah, we're here. Identity? Do I need identity? We're already authenticated, so it should be fine. This is user phone. Yeah, it didn't look right. Okay. I think I still have to modify this. Because this is the way the tool exports it. So we need to make this into ESC1. Unless we can, like, combine them. This seems relatively fine. Except for these like, name, display name stuff. It does seem fine, honestly. CSPs are the same. Where's the EKU is the same. The main thing we want is for EC1 is enrollee supply subject. You can no, you can't. Because the thing is, you can get like stupid CVEs for things that no one uses. I could do that if I wanted to. Still doesn't make me an expert. Maybe, I mean, no. There's no such thing as an expert. Right, where is enrolled supply subject enabled here? It doesn't really say that unless it's this weird security descriptor. Do JWT tokens. That's funny. I'm just making fun of you because that says JWT stands for JSON Web Token. So you're saying JSON Web Token tokens. It's funny. I'm just busting your balls though. I say that all the time. And regular tokens have the same attack methods. No. Like JWT tokens, you can reinforce signatures, change payloads, head, algorithm, etc. What's possible for normal tokens? Like, are you talking about just session cookies in general? But yes, they are different. I'm the machine. Hello, Vertex. Let's see if I can get this. Like, what specifically about this is the enrollee supply subject? Which of these is supply subject? It is this flag, apparently. This is the flag. Okay, so we need to add this. Add this to so where does that really go? I guess it can just go here. Not sure if that really matters. Should be fine. Okay, let's see if that imports. That was user.json. We want to move user.json to user2. Oh, whoops. What am I doing? Whatever. Upload user2.json. I am the danger. Alright, can I do user2? Nope, format's still wrong. Yeah, I guess session tokens. I mean, do they literally just allow the session to be active? I mean, I'm not sure what your question is. It's just a different way of keeping sessions, keeping user session data. Like you can just do that with a PHP session ID. and then have all the information associated with that session ID on the back end. The thing with JWTs is some of that information is on the client side. So you can specify like the user in the JWT, which is where the vulnerabilities come in. All right, so you have user equals XYZ. And you can't just change that to administrator because it's not signed. It's signed by the backend and or like with the secret key of the backend. So you can't really modify that and it won't be valid. But again, that's where the JWT vulnerabilities come into play. Yeah. That's a good summary. Control 0. Okay, so why did this fail? Does this even work with just the one we just downloaded? No, it doesn't. Oh, the name is already in use. Okay, well that's not the issue that we want. Why does this fail? I must specify the object for the... Okay, so first of all, it is saying something's already in use for user 2. What is... This display name? Is that already imported? No. That didn't get imported, did it? I guess we could check, but it's fine. Oh, it did get imported. Oh shit, that worked. Can I do dash vulnerable? Do we have EC1 now? We have EC4. Template is owned by user. Okay, let's just use EC4 then. That's fine. I kinda did a funny way of doing it, but it's whatever. We'll do it that way. Template hijack. We can do that now. At least I get to use certify now. This makes it easier than manually doing it with some PowerShell random tool. So we want template. Template equals user vuln, and then we'll write default configuration, which makes it vulnerable to EC1. That does it for me. We can overwrite that. Fine. We don't have permission to update these attributes. This is literally ESC4. Damn, I can't do that? Okay, well, why isn't this vulnerable to ESC1? It's because it's not... It doesn't have an early supply subject. Maybe I still need to, What if we make this user vuln 2? What if I need to do this? User vuln 2, user vuln 2. Move user to... Oops. Move user 2 JSON to user vuln 2.json. This, do this. Display name user vuln 2. User vuln 2. I'm gonna specify an object for the get member CMD lit. Kinda odd. Alright, let's see this in GPT. I have a JSON syntax error. Here. That was imported with... Wasn't that there with, when I exported it? I'm just gonna remove that. And I have 2 certificate name, flag name, apparently. Oh, there and there. They're both ESC1, though. What the fuck? That can't be right. Then why would it export it with... Am I tweaking? Maybe I just do this. Maybe I can just take this and then just add all these in there. I don't know if it'll work. Let's just make a duplicate of this. Copy user vuln2 to lease.json. So where does that start? Flags. Here. Okay. So then we take this. Put that in there. That did not paste where I wanted it to. Don't know how indentation matters, but I'll indent it anyways. Ah, it doesn't indent well. Fuck. Hopefully that indentation doesn't matter that much. I don't think it would. It should be fine. Let's see how that does. Should have named it, please. Don't know if that's gonna work. Cannot convert this value. What is that? Expiration period. It's a bad expiration period. Alright, maybe I just go back to this. What does that expiration period look like? Does it not have one? I don't even think it has an expiration period. Huh. Sure. 1, 2. That uploaded with no errors. Okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and find vulnerable again. UC4. That's it. User vuln 2. UC4. Fuck. Why don't I have an early supply subject? What does that look like in JSON? Certificate name flag 1. Apparently, is now it's saying. It might be hallucinating this. I mean, I had it search with Google. I don't know if it's with Google. I had it search the web. So, PKI certificate name flag. Doesn't really make sense why it'd be that. That should just be 1, apparently. Apparently, just 1. That means Enroll a supply subject. Supposedly. Don't think that's gonna work. But we shall see. Because this is the one that Certified generated, and that doesn't have it. It says 41 here. No, it's enrollment. Name flag. It has this thing. That can't be right. Can I just upload the same one? Will it overwrite it? Hopefully. Might be able to overwrite it now. No, can't. Can I just name it 3? Okay, I can. EC4, it's not there. Is Mac OS good for CTFs? Depends on the CTF. Doing anything low level with like your AMD architecture is probably not going to be fun. But other than that, yeah. Hi guy, hello. Do I think CPTS or OSCP is harder? CPTS is definitely twice as hard. OSCP is probably more beneficial in terms of getting a job. Do I know Exegol? I know Exegol. I have not used it. Where did they get this? Alright, here's what I'm looking at. Here's what I'm looking at, chat. Rolling supply subject. It's just one. Enroll supply subject. That's the certificate name. Flag. We don't want that. Hold up. At least, okay. I think we're starting to get it now. Hold on, we're almost there. ADCS. No. Certify. Enabled in the. Where's that enabled? That's in the name flag. How is this not vulnerable to EC1 now? Alright, we have enrollment. It's an enrollee supply subject. Does it require manager's approval? It shouldn't, no. It should be fine. Why is this not... Is it an enrollment flag issue? I don't think so. Client authentication should be true. This should be good. Why is it not? Alright, well, let's just try and use it for EC1. We'll see what happens. It probably won't work, but let's see what happens. Probably won't work because it says it won't work, but we shall see. Administrator at coder. The hackbox. They may tell us what we're missing, which should just be beneficial anyways. Let's get the administrator. Sid. Template is Vuln user 3. CA. Coder DCO1CA. Target. It's gonna have to be my host file. We're gonna have to add that. It's gonna fail resolution, I think. And our user and password. Coder.hackthebox. Coder password. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, what was that? Unsupported cert type. This requested certificate template is not supported by the CA. Vuln user 3. Or is it user Vuln 3? I might have done the name wrong. User Vuln 3. Whoopsies. I didn't paste it. Paste. User Vuln 3. Template denied. The permissions on the certificate template do not allow the current user to enroll. Are we not under enrollment? Here's Vuln 3. No supply subject. Oh! No one can enroll in this. It has no enrollment rights. Huh. Well, that's bad. Gotta add that, and then it should be good. Permissions. Enrollment rights. There's no enrollment rights anywhere. No one can enroll in it. Alright, well, how do we give ourselves enrollment rights? Add enrollment rights to domain users. What do I call it? JSON. NT security descriptor. Okay. Supposedly, we add this. Let's see how that goes. Do I? Oh, you already asked that. Looked like the chat update for some reason. Okay, user phone 4. Worked. Moment of truth. Let's just use the same thing here. Can I just send this to user phone 4? Oh! No, template denied. What the fuck? Kidding me? Let's check this again. What does it look like? There's phone 4. No one has enrollment rights again. That didn't work. What if I just use the security descriptor from this guy? Let's see if that changes it. Looks good. Let's try that. A lot of trial and error here. I'm just gonna call this. No, that's where we get the, that's where that fails. That doesn't work. Oh, I have two quotation marks there. Fuck, was that the problem? AA1. Calling this. My naming scheme is gone to crap. Fuck. We have too many templates now. AA1. No one didn't work. Nor this. I wish there was like a resource to see the raw JSON templates. No way. Oh, it's because I gotta do this. Copy. Here we go. You set template ACL. Set template ACL in the tool and not do it via that. Set template ACL. Lone Wanderer with the follow. Display name is AA1. Identity should be domain users. Domain is coder. Should be fine. Does it need to be coder.hackthebox? Hopefully that'll identify it. Dash and roll. That was wrong. Set template ACL. Okay, that's what we're doing now. Display name. Allow, identity, and role. Is that on the stuff here? Set ACS template ACL. Display name, type allow, identity. I don't think I just type allow here. Let me redo this. Domain users. Let's go coder. Display name is AA1. Whoops. Cannot call a method on null. Where am I failing? Huh? The fuck is this? The null error occurs because get ACL returns null if the Active Directory drive isn't initialized or the template doesn't exist. But the template does exist. Huh? With the JSON. What's the difference between these two? Auto enroll. Deny. I don't know how well it's cooking. Don't think it's cooking there. Dash JSON. I don't think that has an argument for JSON, ChatGPT. Yeah, alright, it's tweaking. It's actually tweaking off the perk 30s. It's hallucinating shit. Damn, why does this fail? Is it gotta be like coder.hackbox here? That shouldn't matter. You cannot call a null. Tweaking off for it. ChatGPT is. Ackle object is null. Did it get removed? Is that what happened? I don't. Let me import it again. I wonder if it just got removed. It just got removed as cleanup script. Oh my gosh, it was just cleanup script. It got removed. Every fucking time. Oh my gosh, that's the biggest pet peeve ever of Hack the Box of mine. Oh my gosh. Alright, now we should have ESC1. We got a lot more, but we got ESC1. It worked. Okay, let's go. Finally. Holy shit. Alright. That took a little bit, but it's alright. It's alright. We got it in the end. Now we can exploit this. Let's go here. Let's go here. Do this again. That should work now. Okay, cool. Maybe just off with this, right? Yeah, GG's. Certipy 80 off. PFX administrator PFX. Need to add the DCIP, don't I? Because that's nowhere to authenticate to. There we go. Give it a second. Clock skew. You dirty dog. NP, NT, what is it? R date? Is it? NP update is what it is. No. I'm just gonna look at my notes. Forget what it was. Can I explain what just happened? Yeah. NP update. Thank you. Thank you. NPT date? NP. I'm looking at my notes. I forget what it is. Clock skew. I have rdate-n. That works for me. rdate-n. Should be fine. Yo, what up, Ryan? We just finished Coder, or we're about to. I might need to run this with sudo. No, that worked. Okay, cool. We just finished Coder. That was a great box. Great box. Good job, dude. Thank you. Much appreciated. I will explain that, Void, after we get this flag. Okay. Do I want your script? Honestly, not really. I don't care that much. That was a nice box. It was. Honestly, just that's a 4 for Prevesk. That like compared to the user flag, that took us literally an hour. Boo, boo you. That took us an hour. Then user flag took us like 3 hours, I think. That was way easier. Okay. So wait for the explanation. Yeah. Okay, I'm doing it right now until Ryan stops talking. Yeah, I think that's neat as well, but you know, you can just go monkey mode and brute force the pin as well. No. Took us an hour for Privesk. It took us like 3 hours to get user. What are we doing? Yeah, I'm explaining this. Okay. And it unauthenticated me. Thanks, Bloodhound. Okay. Void. We're gonna explain what just happened. Alright, so we had access as E-Black. Should we go over the whole thing? I'm not going over the whole thing. I don't really even remember. Did I give up on rope 2? Yes. We will come back to it another day. If I'm better at fucking installing stuff. Okay, so we had access to E-Black. And E-Black is a member of this PKI admins group. I've never seen this before. It might be custom, it might not. Either way, they have generic right over the certificate authority. So we look, alright, we go to Linux abuse. What does this abuse do? Typically you have commands here, but this is not very, this is not very, not a very common thing to see, generic right over the certificate authority. But it does say, gives us some hints here. It says that we can publish certificate templates. We're able to publish certificate templates. So we can create a certificate template and publish it. So that's exactly what we did. So we used this tool, this PowerShell tool called ADCS template to import our template. And what we did is we made a vulnerable template. So we essentially just copied the user template, which is like the default template for user authentication. We just copied that. We downloaded it, and then we just changed it a little bit. We made it vulnerable to ESE1, which is where we can specify the enrollee supply subject. So with this flag, which is just this right here. So this right here made it vulnerable to this escalation method, where we can specify the subject to enroll as, which we just did the administrator for. So we made a vulnerable template. We then imported it, gave us enrollment rights. And then we can enroll in that. And then go up here. And then where is it? Right here. We requested the template. We just named it AA1 because I got tired of, I was going crazy mode after debugging a couple times. So that was our template name. We just made that vulnerable template. And now we could request that as the administrator now. And it gave us the administrator's certificate. We then authenticated with that. Got the... we had clock skew error because our time was off too much. We synced time. And we were able to grab the NTLM hash. And then we passed the hash to WinRM to grab the flag. Fear SJV with the tier 1 subscription. Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated. Alright, chat. I said it was going to be 2 to 2.5 hours. Do we want to just do like some PortSwigger before we head off? I feel like we should just do some PortSwigger before we head off. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a short stream because it's 4th of July for everyone in the US. But I'm thinking we just do a little poop swigger just for fun, you know what I'm saying? How'd the job call go? He also sent an email, so I just replied to the email saying I'd be available these dates. I think it got scheduled for That one got scheduled for, I think, Monday? Next Monday or something? Later, Control 0. I don't know anything about this, but I found a gift card hanging around. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, brother. Alright, I think I'm just gonna... I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do something on PortSwigger. Hey, poker's fun, dude. I respect it. Just finish rope 2 real quick. Yeah. Like, just in like 15, 20 minutes. Just finish rope 2, yeah. Because that's happening. Did I do all JWTs? Yeah, I did. These are all experts. I'm not doing that until I get BSCP. I could learn about prototype pollution. This is... You don't see this you don't see this often in the labs, but it might be useful to learn. Let's just... I mean, it is... I forget... What do we call Fridays? Alright, later, Fear. What do we call Fridays? Fridays is when we just learn new stuff. So we have Fun Day Sunday, which is where we do user-friendly... Not user-friendly. Beginner-friendly streams. We only do easy boxes on Sundays. On Wednesdays is Wallop Wednesday. We do insane boxes. And then Fridays is when we just fuck it Fridays. That doesn't make sense though. Like we're just learning, dabbling. Like I don't know prototype solution, but we're gonna learn about it. It's just random stuff we learn. It's just a learning stuff. We don't do boxes. I mean, in this case we did a box, but like I don't know. It's kind of boring, but worth knowing. That's what Fridays is for. Just fucking around. I think if I put that in the stream title for YouTube, it gets, like, fucking demonetized or something. I don't even know if I can put that in the stream title. I gotta suck up to YouTube. What up, Junior? We'll figure out a name. Let's learn about prototype pollution. It's a client-side thing? It's a JavaScript vulnerability. Prototype pollution sucks. Okay. Wednesdays should have been the random day. We can change it. For whatever Wednesdays. And then what do we do Friday? What is Fridays? You're so right. Wait, we're doing that. We're changing it up. I don't fucking care. We're changing it up. Schedule's being changed. You're so right. You're so right. We're changing it up. All right. We're changing it up. That's how it is for now on. Whatever Wednesdays and then fearful Fridays. I love that. All right. We're doing that. Prototype pollution is a JavaScript vulnerability. Leonardo? With the follow? Appreciate it. That enables an attacker to add arbitrary properties to global object prototypes. Which can then be inherited by user-defined objects. Transport URL equals eviluser.net. Recursive merge. Oh god, this is more complicated than I thought. Maybe they're just overcomplicating this. We'll see how it goes. What does it mean by prototype? I need to know prototype before I know prototype pollution. Prototypes and inheritance. Okay, maybe we read this. Maybe we read this first. JavaScript uses a prototypal inheritance model, which is quite different from the class-based model used by many other programming languages. In this section, we'll provide a basic overview of how this works, which should give you enough understanding to follow our learning modules on prototype evolution. Cool. What is an object in JavaScript? It's just an object. Okay. Yo, you did not solve yet? What do you mean? You're talking about, I gotta change the stream title. No, we finished, Coder. What is my favorite Vuln? What is my favorite vulnerability? I don't really know. I don't have one. I don't do favorites. Yeah, we finished Coder. A collection of key value pairs, known as properties. This object represents a user. Okay. Easy enough. You can access the properties of an object. We should take notes on this. It is... I mean, we're flipping it around, but today we can think of as whatever Wednesday. We gotta learn this stuff. We gotta fucking write these down. We're on web. We're on prototype pollution now. New subfolder. Fuck it. Prototype pollution. Let's create a document on JavaScript prototypes and inheritance. Okay. We'll take this. We'll take this. We'll take this. We'll take this. Take this. Take this. JavaScript. Cool. You can access the properties by either a dot notation or bracket notation to refer to the respective keys. Okay. It's good to know as well. As well as data, properties may also contain executable functions, in this case a function known as method. Okay, that makes sense. That's fine. I don't need to write that down. That's fine. The example above is an object. In other languages, you might write a class. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I get it. Object literal, which means it was created using curly brace syntax to explicitly declare its objects and their initial values. However, it's important to understand that almost everything in JavaScript is an object under the hood. Throughout these materials, the term object refers to all entities, not just object literals. What is a prototype? Every object in JavaScript is linked to another object of some kind, known as its prototype. It's linked to another object. By default, JavaScript automatically assigns new objects one of its built-in prototypes. For example, strings are automatically assigned the built-in string.prototype. You can see more examples of these below. Huh. So this is just an empty object. And then... Huh? String prototype. Okay, this is the response of this. So objects use the object prototype. Any string is using string prototype. Any array is using array. Okay, that's fine. What up, Neem? Removing construct hello world from season. What? I don't know what you're talking about, Gabriel. Instead of things being constructed from a base class, they just link to a base object. Okay. Take notes in a notebook or on the computer? On the computer, brother. What you talking about? I can't copy paste, throw it at my computer, and it spits it out. This is fine. I'll put this in here as well. Objects automatically inherit all properties of their assigned prototype. Yeah, obviously that's implied. Unless they already have their own property with the same key. Built-in prototypes provide useful properties and methods for working with basic data types. For example, the string prototype object has a toLowerCase method. Makes sense. As a result, all... Okay, this is making sense. This is making sense. Ready to use method for converting them to lowercase. Alright. Okay, we're going to need to learn this. We're almost done. We're almost done. This is all required to learn prototype pollution. Inheritance. Whenever I reference an property of an object, the JavaScript engine first tries to access this directly on the object itself. If the object doesn't have a matching property, the engine will look for it on the object's prototype instead. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. You can use your browser console to see this behavior in action. First create... Okay, I'm not going to do this. I can just look at the images. An empty object. Next, my object is followed by a dot. Then we get a list of different properties. Even though there's no properties in the object itself, the object prototype does have properties. Gotcha. Prototype chain. Note that an object's prototype is just another object, which should also have its own prototype. Prototypeception is what's going on here. As virtually anything in JavaScript is an object under the hood, this chain ultimately leads back to the top level object.prototype, whose prototype is simply null. So this is as far as you go. This is limbo right here. And then from there, you have strings, arrays, numbers, which could be a property of like a username. Gotcha. Yeah. Accessing an object's prototype using proto. Every special property that you can use to access its... Every object has a special property you can access. Okay. Although it doesn't have a formally standardized name, the Dunder Proto is the de facto standard used by most browsers. If I'm familiar with object-oriented programming, yep. This property serves as both a getter and setter. Okay. The object's prototype. This means you can use it to read the prototype and reassign them. So like Python, where everything has a base class until you get to the base, just the object class, yeah. You can access proto using either the bracket or dot notation. Okay, so like a username string, the prototype just results to the string. And then the proto of the string is just your root object. And then there's no prototype for that, because this is as far back as you can go. Cool. All right, let's put these in here. This is good. Can you relate understanding of this stuff to Python? Yes. As Ryan just said. All right, now we get to modifying prototypes. This is probably where the pollution comes in. Although it's generally considered bad practice, it is possible to modify JavaScripts to built-in prototypes, just like any other object. This means developers can customize or override the behavior of built-in methods, and even add new methods to perform useful operations. For example, modern JavaScript provides the trim method for strings, which enables you to easily remove any leading or trailing white space. Before this built-in method was introduced, developers sometimes added their own custom implementation of this behavior using the string.prototype by doing something like this. string.prototype.remove white space equals XYZ function. Thanks to the prototype inheritance, all strings would then have access to this method. Cool. Got that. All right, a little bit of basic JavaScript programming knowledge. Now we can learn about prototype pollution. Prototype pollution is the vulnerability that enables attackers to add arbitrary properties to global objects, prototypes, which may then be inherited by user-defined objects. So just like what we had here, if we can say modify or the removing white space function on all strings, then any string now has access to that function. So if there's a .transport URL function and we pollute that prototype on the user object, when it calls transport URL, it should go to normal website, but now we can send it to an evil website. Okay, this is just kind of an overview of example. I'm getting it. Although prototype pollution is often unexploitable as a standalone vulnerability, it lets attackers to control properties of objects that would otherwise be inaccessible. If the application subsequently handles an attacker-controlled property in an unsafe way, this could potentially be chained with other vulnerabilities. In client-side JavaScript, it can lead to DOM XSS. While server-side prototype, there is a server-side version, can even lead to remote code execution. Makes sense. If you're unfamiliar with how prototypes... Okay, we already read that. Alright. How do prototype pollution vulnerabilities arise? Prototype pollution vulnerabilities arise when JavaScript functions recursively merge an object containing user-controllable properties into an existing object without sanitizing the keys. This can allow an attacker to inject a property with the key like proto, along with arbitrary nested objects. Yada, yada, yada. Possible to pollute any object, but it's most commonly with the built-in global object. So that's just all objects. We can pollute everything. That's GG. Successful exploitation requires a prototype pollution source. This is any input that enables me to poison the prototype object with arbitrary properties. A sink, which we know from DOM XSS. A JavaScript function or DOM element that enables code execution. Scientist with the follow. Appreciate it. And then the exploitable gadget. Any property that is passed into a sink without proper filtering or sanitization. Prototype pollution sources. Prototype pollution sources. Any yada yada yada. We get that. Pollution via the URL. Consider the following URL, which contains an attacker-instructed query string. When breaking the query string down into key value pairs, a URL parser may interpret proto as an arbitrary string. Plus, what happens when these keys values are subsequently merged into existing object as properties. You may think that the proto property, along with its nested evil property, will just be added to the target object as follows. However, this isn't the case. At some point, the recursive merge operation may assign the value of evil property using a statement equivalent to the following. Target object dot proto dot evil property equals payload. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay. The JSON. JSON.parse also treats any key in JSON object as an arbitrary string, including things like proto. This provides another potential vector for prototype pollution. Let's say an attacker injects the following malicious JSON via a web message. If this is converted into a JSON object with JSON.parse, the resulting object will have a property with the key proto. JSON has own property proto. Okay, let me put these in my notes. Intro. Via... Nope, not that one. Let's go via URL. Oh. Let's go via JSON. The syncs are just similar to DOM syncs. Makes sense. Gadgets are just other functions that we can turn into an actual exploit. A property cannot be a gadget if it's defined directly on the object itself. In this case, the object's own version of the property takes precedence over any malicious version we're able to add. Robust websites may also explicitly set the prototype of the object to null, which ensures it doesn't inherit any properties at all. So it's all in one. It just like compiles it into without like linking. If that makes sense. So it has no prototypes. It's just all in one. Back compromise coder. Yes, we did compromise coder. Example of prototype pollution gadget. Many JavaScript libraries accept an object that developers can use to set different configuration options. The library code checks whether the developer has explicitly added certain properties to this object, and if so, adjusts the configuration accordingly. If a property that represents a particular option is not present, a predefined default option is often used instead. Transport URL equals config.transport URL or defaults. .transport URL. Now, imagine the library code uses transport URL to add a script reference to the page. Script equals create script. Script.source equals transport URL / example.js. Coder is easy for Pebble. I wouldn't say it was easy, but I understood everything. I wouldn't say... I mean, well, it wasn't above my abilities. Like fucking... Rope 2. But I didn't even get to we didn't even get to start that box, really. If website developers haven't set a transport URL property on their config object, this is a potential gadget. Could have done rope 2 if I tried harder. That was a patience issue. I didn't have time. It's not so much of a patience thing as like, it's going to take me like 3 days to do that box. And that's fine. But like, I have better things to do in 3 days than to work on rope 2. I know I could do it. I know I could do it. I know I could do it. I can do anything. Cases where an attacker is able to pollute the global object.prototype with their own transport URL property. This will be inherited by the config object, and therefore set as the source for the script to a domain of the attacker's choosing. This just means or, right? Config.transport URL or defaults. I've never seen that used on like defining that. Anything except git cloning, of course. Did I complete rope 1? No. We didn't even start that or try it. If the website haven't set transport object on their config object. Alright. Kinda get it. This prototype can be polluted via query parameter. The attacker would simply have to induce a victim to simply visit a crafted URL. Similar to reflected cross-site scripting. Proto transport URL equals eviluser.net. With data, we can embed a cross-site scripting payload. Cool. Let's add that. The trailing slashes are simply to comment out the hard code. Oh, gotcha. That can be useful as well. Okay. Let's get started. Client-side prototype pollution. Test. Search equals test. Timeout. Probably the box probably died. Because we read so much. This lab is vulnerable to DOM cross-site scripting via client-side prototype pollution. Golang with the follow. This website's developers have noticed a potential gadget and attempted to patch it. However, we can bypass the measures they've taken. To solve the lab, find a source that allows us to use arbitrary properties to the global object prototype. Let's bring this over here. Sure, bring this over here. Bring the docs over here. Or this one over here. Okay, so we gotta find... It's probably in just a script somewhere. Search logger configurable? Maybe this? Yeah, it's probably this. I don't know. Maybe not. Could be. I'll keep that open. Not that. Definitely not the lab header. That's all JavaScript. So it's probably this. Let's bring on Burp Suite. Let's go intercept. Let's see what happens when we test. Ah, there you go. Post to logger. And there's our JSON. Interesting. Okay. Async function log query URL params. So it calls log. Await fetch URL post JSON search logger. Where does it call these? Event listener load search logger. That's it. Where does it call that though? config equals new URL location. This is new stuff for me. Not gonna be easy. Define property config, transport URL, configurable false, writable false. If config transport URL, let script equal document.create element script source equals config.transport.url. This is what we need to pollute, I think. If config params and param search await query, log query logger, config params. Okay. So we want to pollute that. So we want search to be is it really that easy, just like this one? Can we really just do this? There's no way it's that easy, right? Oops. That didn't work. Did it call logger on that? It didn't call logger on that. I guess there's no search. Let me add this to the scope so we only get this. I mean, it wouldn't be a post request because, I mean, well, it definitely wouldn't be that. Like proto here. With this as the value. I mean, what does that do for me? And then we hit search. That wouldn't make sense. That's not how you spell search. No. No, 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 no. Okay, okay. Man, JavaScript is weird. Config is equal to this. So transport URL equals false. You never like it, but you get used to it. Okay. So when it calls config.transport.url, it's just saying it's false. Oh, and then it defines object.define property. Config. Transport URL. Configurable false, writable false. What? The fuck does that mean? If transport URL, how will that ever be true? Not sure what this whole thing is. dparam new URL location dot search params dot toString. I guess that's just this. That's our search. Pebble, Kurdish. Just pollute, man. Simple as that. Yeah, just pollute. Just get root. Type shit. Goddamn. I wasn't made for this. We can solve it manually in my browser. Use DOM Invader. Maybe we use DOM Invader. Oh! Thanks, Stratacat. Still kind of blurry. There we are. We're back. Maybe we just try DOM Invader first. It's like it's part of browser stuff. How do I get I forgot DOM Invader. Browser, Firefox, Firefox. Dominate. DOM Invader. Upper right corner. Oh, it's in Burt browser, isn't it? That's what it is. DOM stuff goes over your head. It goes over my head too. Trust me. DOM Invader. There we go. Turn that thing on. Prototype pollution on. Did you find anything? Okay, Ryan. 0. Found nothing. Alright. Let's just turn everything on. Oh, we can only do prototype pollution. Oh, I found something. How do I see what I found? I swear it was like in the inspect mode. There it is, DOM Invader. There's prototype pollution. Alright, I found it. Config.transport URL property is not found. It's not found. But it has transport URL. It's saying config equals. And then I feel like, is it not defining that property there? Is it not saying let config equal this? Is that not defining it with transport URL? Or at least here as well. I don't know. I feel like it's defining it plenty. Maybe wrong though. I mean, I'm probably wrong. Okay, proto property equals value in search. Don't know what the fuck that did. It might be dynamic. What might be dynamic? How? What? Scan for gadgets. Did it scan for gadgets? Dude, I'm sorry for the browser's bad. Our browser doesn't have a dark mode. I apologize. If it does, I don't know about it. Messages 1. Dude, it's just because I don't have Dom Invader. I have all that. That's how I'm intercepting all this. It's just Dom Invader. There's no Burp Suite extension. I don't have. It's fine. Freaking freak. I don't know. I think that might only be available in Chromium. I don't know. Alright, well, I'd rather do it manually than just monkey goo goo gaga with automatically Dom Invader just doing prototype pollution for me. I mean, it identified it, but property equals value. So we want proto transport URL equals gobbledy gabagoo yabba gabba jabba gabadoo proto property. So we want transport URL equals whatever we want. True. Script source equals transport URL. No, so we want the alert thing, because it just we want this. This is literally what we just did. This is where data alert comes. Yeah, I get that. We already tried this. Well, I put it in the wrong spot. We want it here, don't we? Like, yeah, I put it in the wrong spot. But we already tried this. We get nothing. Hello, what is my name? My name is Pebble. Hello. Your name's Rabbit Dark. Why didn't that work? Why does it show up there? Pro tip, right click, copy curl. Copy URL. Gotcha, appreciate it. Is it real name? Yes, my real name is Pebble. We're not doing it right. Obviously. Do I need to play around with more functionality? Do I need to, like, play with the submit feedback stuff? Heblium Maximus the Third. That'll work. That doesn't do much. Search equals proto? Nothing. That's what I already tried. No, it's gone. Control Z, there we go. This. I mean, I could request it in my browser if I want to. Or I do the, hold up, copy URL. Bam, that's something. Bam. I just get that. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. We want this. Or so I thought. I mean, duh. Final network. I found the DOM in the cross-site scripting, but I don't have the prototype pollution working. You would use, I don't know how, that's, I should probably learn how to use that, shouldn't I? How do we use the browser debugger? How do we use that? Debugger. Deparam. Here's that. But how do I like set breakpoints and shit? This is like some advanced client side shit. Like click the line number. That just set a breakpoint. Okay. So if I want to break here, line 10's where the pollution happens. Is it? Config param, I don't understand that very well. Transport URL equals false. So here's, it sets this here. I think I get it. 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 Yeah. Assigning the search query parameter to the config object. This is our search query. Just so I should be able to set its proto to something else. Can I explain what we're doing briefly? No idea. I have no idea what we're doing. We're trying to do client-side prototype pollution. But, it ain't going too hot. We're doing something, that's for sure. Okay, so how do I run this? With the breakpoint, can I just refresh? That'll probably remove the breakpoint, won't it? What just fucking happened? Oh, it's index. Pause at execution. Okay, that's not paused. So then, can I just get config transport URL? Object.get property of config dot get config's not defined. Oh, we did it too early. I want it here because I want to read. All right, let's. What is this? One more? Do this step. Config dot get config's not defined. We good now? No. Oh, now it is. Can't access lexical declaration of config before initialization. This is not English. This is not English. Next step. There we go. There's no get property. Now we do have config. There's no get property of. Oh, never mind. That's for that's just root object. Get proper. Okay, we don't want that. How do I like read config dot? Transport URL? It's false. That doesn't. Why is it saying it's gonna be a URL, but it's just it's a Boolean thing? Because it gets the source of transport URL. But this needs to be true. Or can it just be anything that's not false? Probably. So debugging just showed that it didn't work, which is like obviously, but like how do we get dparam? Where were we? Debugger, dparam, new URL, dot search params, dot toString. Good. Params coerce. Params coerce is on dparam. Dparam. Params? No, it only calls it with one argument. New URL location dot search params dot toString. Where is search params defined? Or I guess it doesn't have to be if it uses it here. I don't know, chat. Chat, I'm tweaking. Ugh. I'm not sure why this didn't work. Have I tried? Have I tried polluting the prototype? Oh wait, I gotta pollute the oh duh. Yeah, that's all I gotta do is just pollute the prototype. Shit. Hey, you right. No problem having to appreciate it. So obvious now. What do you mean object.transport URL? Oh, we need, yeah, so we need, right. We need the root object to have transport URL. That's what we want. And that's set there, so that did work. So why didn't it work? Why didn't it work? That should be good. But Arrow, thanks for the follow. Here's the thing, though. Config does have a thingy. Config does have transport URL. So it's not undefined, and it's not going to search for the root object, the prototype. It's just gonna use this instead for the source. We don't want it to use this. We want it to use the root object. We're doing PortSwigger Web Security Academy. Client-side prototype pollution. So that kinda worked. We polluted the object, but it's still using this, not this. The prototype has been polluted. But now... Now what? Document create element. Script source equals transfer URL. Nope, that ain't it. That ain't it, Chief. That ain't it. Why is it logging my query? I think this doesn't help with anything, right? This whole logging my query. I don't think that matters. Prototype pollution is so confusing. Well, we're learning it. I'm gonna face it one day, so I might as well learn it now. I don't know, maybe we just read. Maybe we just read the solution. Nothing wrong with that. You can't learn it if you don't know. Config object has a transport URL property. Yup. Observe that transport URL property is defined for the config object, so this doesn't appear vulnerable. Right. Observe that the next line uses object.define property to make transport URL unwritable and unconfigurable. However, notice it doesn't define a value property. The fuck? Okay. It doesn't define a value property. Correct. Where does that come into play? Huh? What? Am I tweaking? What am I doing? We're doing prototype pollution. We're rocking with the follow. I'm still... Why does it need to be named value? It doesn't define a value property. What? I'm gonna need to watch a video on this. I still don't understand why value would work. It doesn't even reference value anywhere. It's just like, okay, it needs to be named value. No, I know. I could suggest. I could watch the actual video. I could watch this video. We could watch that together. Isn't value just the concept? What do you mean just the concept? Oh, I know what you mean. No, it's specifically saying it should be explicitly the just value, the word value. It's supposed to literally just be value. Value. I didn't even get the alert. There it is. We're gonna copy this video and watch it. It doesn't work. I don't get audio well in the VM, so we're gonna have to pull up a little shaboinga doing. Does that work? Please don't leak nothing. Oh. There we go. Okay. We probably should have read the function. Like the documentation on it. Oh, y'all can't hear that very well. Oh, I don't even have the... There you go. Sorry, chat.
But if you avoid to set also value as shown here, because if the value is not defined,
We're not working on that box anymore, Curtis. We finished it.
the value could be inherited by the object prototype. So this lab concerned that kind of attack. So let's do it.
Okay. All right. He's actually asked at doing this. He's asked at explaining that shit. He sounds like he's done with life. Yeah. Let's look up that function then. Object defined property. I think there was another thing on here that we should have read as well. Client side browser APIs here. This prototype solution via browser APIs. This enables you to set a non-configurable, non-writable property directly on the affected object. I think I get it. No, I still don't get it. Object-defined property accepts options, an options object known as descriptor. Developers can use the descriptor object to set an initial value for the property that's being defined. However, if the only reason that they're defining the property is to protect against prototype pollution, they may not bother setting a value at all. In this case, an attacker may be able to bypass this defense by polluting object.prototype with a malicious value property. If this is inherited by the descriptor object passed to object.define property, the attacker-controlled value may be assigned the property after all. I think I get it. I think I get it. All right, so chat, everything is an object, okay? Everything is an object. All right? So here's what happens. We're making object dot value is what we're doing. So if we go back here and we inspect and we go, "Hey, what is object dot value?" It's this. We're polluting object.value, and since value's not defined here, it's gonna search and use that, a default version. It doesn't exist. But since we now have a value specified through the prototype pollution, it's gonna use that as the value. And since now that inherently will set, once that JavaScript runs, it's now going to set my, what's it called? Config.value, or config dot, config's not defined. What? Config's not defined. What? How is config no longer defined? What? But whatever. What happens is it gives transport URL the value of data alert 1. And so then when it goes to view that, obviously we get that JavaScript execution through the sync, the DOM sync. But it's like, why is config no longer defined? Do I have to set a let's set a breakpoint before it, like right there. Let's set a breakpoint there. Config dot, there we go. Value. See? Transport URL. See? See? I get it now. That was confusing. That's like something you would never know unless you read the documentation that defined property takes. Yes, yes. But you would look this like you would have to research this just like we did. We'd look at, all right, what does this JavaScript function do? Okay, it does this, it takes a value. Value's not defined. Can we define that value in the prototype? Yes, we can. There we go. That was cool. All right, chat. I gotta go. I'm gonna spend some time with the family. Chat, I hope everyone has a splendid 4th of July. If you're not celebrating it, happy rest of your day. We're ready to fix it. What is she doing right now? Ads are running. My bad, chat. On Twitch, at least. Hacking Active Directory. Awesome. All right, we're gonna raid her. Yeah, write notes. Okay, yeah. Properties. Functions with no defined functions that use an undefined value can be exploited. Have a beautiful rest of y'all's day. We're ready to fix it. Thanks to everyone for the follows, donos, biddies, subs, and everyone that's kicking it with your boy, ready to learn. We're gonna be back on Fun Day Sunday, doing some easy CTFs. So if you're new, make sure you are there. All right, peace out, y'all.